Alright guys, day 2 check. We didn't have as much action on this side, so I went over and scouted this side with the beaver hut. I found the beaver hut and all the runs. So in this heat you got to prepare for working in the heat. You got to think ahead. So what we did here is I just working off the tailgate and the shade, get my snares ready. And then we're going to drive the closest point, walk just a short distance, and I'll show you more of the situation when we get there. But the key thing is in this heat, guys, is make sure you got water with you, and make sure you use your brain as much as possible, work in the shade when you can. So we'll get our snares ready, and I'll go show you some more here. This is our second day check. Like I said, not a lot of activity. Let's readjust and keep at them. Alright guys, so the reason I was able to locate the lodge so easily is I let the moss speak to me on these dirty ponds, right? Like these ponds with lots of moss on them, right? You see this clearing here? That right there tells me there's a lot of activity. Just like right over there's another clearing. That's where these beaver are just using it so much that the moss is staying cleared out of the way. Okay, so anyways, here's our run. I don't know how well you guys can see this, especially with the sun shining on it there, but we have a snare right down there with a stick just blocking it down, just a hint, right? And we left it dirty. It's not a clean stick, it's not a chew-on stick, it's just a stick that was already sitting here. So I mean, it's not going to flag them any. It's just when they push out of their run, they're going to dodge it and go right through our loop. Now, as long as I guessed for the right size beaver, I think we're dealing with, you know, a typical colony, couple 1-year-olds, couple adults, and so anyways, that's the situation. I'm going to go set a snare over there next. Alright guys, here's run number 2. Now, it's a little mossy up there, that's because they're going deeper, but you see that castor mound right there? You can smell the castor. Okay, so here's the run. They're going deep. Right here's my snare. I don't know how well you guys can see that, especially with the sun reflecting. I apologize about that. But I got a snare right there, and it's important. It sits in the bottom of the run, just like for muskrat. You can see where they're going out. Okay? It's cloudy right there. That's what you're looking for, just like a muskrat run. And so anyways, snare number 2 set up. So now we got 6 snares set at this job. And honestly, I feel like good sets are better than a huge amount of sets. I don't want to educate them, I just want to catch them. So anyways, see what next day produces. Alright guys, here's the future trapping rig. We're whipping her into shape. I know she's got some dents. We'll get that popped out. Gonna get some new tires on it next. Got the topper put on today. Thank you, Mark and Jared Bass, for the help and getting me that topper. I appreciate you guys. And I mean, it's no gem truck, but we could sure put a lot of raccoon in the back. It's got the side doors too, so. Grabbed some cage traps too today. Purchased a few of those bad boys. Be putting them to work. Anyways. Alright guys, bear with me here. I know the view isn't great, but we got us a Groundhog and a 160 RBG and an animal damage control job. That's Groundhog number 5 out of these series of tunnels. Going underneath the deck of this property and probably clear down the foundation. So what I did was, there were 4 holes I could find. Here's the one we've caught 2 out of. I blocked off this one with a brick, right? Then you come back over here. This was one of the bigger holes. We got our dead groundhog right there. Caught right behind the head like we want them. And there's another hole. There's 2 holes over here. Alright, there's one. I filled it in. And there's the other 160 RBG. And we've caught, I think, 3 there. So 5 so far off this job. And blocking off the holes just makes it a little quicker and faster, you know, to get them knocked out. And boom. The proof is in the pudding. Alright guys, there's the remake. You see, stability is very important when setting for these. Make sure your safeties aren't going to catch also when the trap fires, because I've had that happen before. And also getting these groundhogs out in a timely manner in the heat. They bloat really quickly in the summer in the heat, and so their bellies will gas up real quick, and you'll have a heck of a time even getting them out of the hole. So anyways, that's groundhog number 5. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, update on the beaver job. This is the hut behind me. Okay. So there's the hut, and I was setting runs coming off of it, but most of them have dried up. They don't use those anymore. I had them set up for a long time. And there's 2 deeper runs right here and right here, right? And I missed a couple times because I'm running for the smaller beaver now. So there's those 2 reset. Over there, right there, where that snare is, I caught the big sow and the big boar. So that was uploaded in the shorts. I apologize, guys. I forgot my camera those days. But we've caught the 2 big ones, so now we just got to get the smaller ones. And right here's the mess where I was wrangling and getting them in the cages, and they were hanging out on that 10-foot of chain attached to a snare. So 2 big ones caught, little ones still to be caught. I think they're mainly in those 2 runs. Those deeper runs is what they're using, those 2 out there. And you guys can see here I'm marking my access points from the field. Got another one down there. That white pole sticking up. Anyways, that just makes it easier for me when I walk in. And I don't drive in here we're in a really bad drought. I don't drive in here unless we have a catch usually. Alright guys, so I'm on a damage control job, and I want to tell you the main things I look for when I roll up to a damage control job. And I'm talking raccoon, but this is also kind of in general. Shelter, food, water, and scat. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so first thing I do is I pre-scout the property. Look for sign, where do I want to set. Second thing you'll notice is I set my traps, especially for raccoon, on points. What I call points is where it sticks out a little bit, like going around a house is the job I'm going to show you real quick. And I put it on points, that way the smell carries a little better, and so it's more of a visual attractant too. They can see it from further away. It helps, in my opinion, increase how fast I catch these animals. And also, like on this raccoon job that I'm doing, we want to roll on them hard, right? Because these coon aren't as stupid as people think they are. They will catch on, they will wise up, and then you've got a pickle that you're in. It's a little different than fur-bearing trapping. Okay, so, and then another important factor is shade. And there's a certain spot I didn't set on this property because there's no shade. Okay, when it's 90-some degrees, you can't leave your cage traps out in the sun, right? Even if you're checking in the morning, they can overheat real quick. So that's something to keep in mind. So I'll just do a walk around on this property and show you my setup. Alright guys, so there's no shade on this portion of the house. That's important to remember. Okay, so I'm not setting over here, even though I would like to set out on this point. I'm not setting here because there's no shade. Okay, so as we come around the house, which is where they want trapped, and I believe they have thinned them out some while I was trapped in their other house, but that's fine. I would expect that. So here, there's a shade tree. We're out on a point. I put the double door here, and it's a good pass-through location. The scent carries a little bit. It's a visual attractant being out here on the edge, and that's where cage number 1's set. Now another thing, keep in mind, I set this tree just down from the property, or just down from the house. And the reason I did this, you see all the coon scat right there? It's a big tree. They could be living there. Right now we're in a severe drought. I'm guessing, since I've only caught 1 coon so far, that they're heading to water each night. Would be my guess. Is why I haven't rolled on them hard yet at this job. So I put a cage close to the tree to try to see, because if I pulled this job and only trapped up around the house, then these coon, let's say we get some rain or cools off, they're going to come up to the house again, and boom, problem's still there. So anyway, just added that cage. That's cage number 2. Okay, so we're still walking around the edge of the house. We're not far off the house. Okay, and I'm not going to show the house too much because of the client's privacy. Alright, here's cage number 3, and it's on a point, and it's shaded. You can't see it very well, but it is shaded, and that's why I picked this location. It's on a point, and you can see we got some scat up here. Okay, these are smaller raccoon, you can tell by the size of the scat. So this is cage trap number 2. Okay, so now we're coming up this little hump here. Boom, we got more scat. But there's no shade over on this corner, so I'm not setting it, even though I'm checking these usually pretty early in the morning. So you come around this side of the house, and they're accessing, remember, they're accessing this spot here. And I got a cage down below it, and I got a cage over here. Now, it's not shaded at this moment, but this shade tree right here reaches and shades this earlier and later. So, keep that in mind. That's why that's set there, is because it's a it's not really a point quite as much, but it's shaded, and it's still pretty visible. Okay, so you come around the front here, and we don't have anything set around front. Reason being is because there's no shade around the front of the house. Okay, and so we're not going to put any sets out here in front of the house. So anyways, that's a quick setup. Alright guys, I know I threw that information at you kind of fast, but it's Father's Day Sunday and I'm trying to get home to the family. So we had to get out there and get moving on to the next job. So I hope that was some good information there. Let's get ahead to the next one. Alright guys, here's that groundhog job. We had one last night. There's the 160 where we've caught, I think, 3 of them. Then you come around here. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Come around here. Here's where we had the one last night. That's the remake on that. And then if you come around here, you guys remember I had that blocked off, so they had to use those other holes. You can tell they're already trying to work around them though, because there was more rock there. So what I've decided to do is they're moving between 2 properties, and there's a bunch of them. So I'm going to come right across the driveway. I'm going to set a cage trap right here in this shade, and we're going to try to catch them coming from the neighbors too. They want to get them all, and I don't blame them. So we'll add a cage trap at this location, see what we can get done with it. But we've caught 5 here already. Alright guys, you see the slope? See how we got it set up? So, anyways, that's that set. Alright guys, so that's going to be the end of this video. It's a good, quick animal damage control video. Good information, I believe. I appreciate you guys. Please hit that thumbs up, subscribe. Don't cost you a dime, and it helps us out as outdoorsmen. So, until next time, No Name Trapper with you here, and I hope you have a great Father's Day and have a great summer.